Hey guys, welcome to part 2. I'm your host, part 1, because this is part 2 to another video. Hopefully you watched it. If you didn't, that's kind of weird, because this is part 2. You're ruining the cinematic integrity of what I do here. And now that I've sounded as pretentious as I possibly can for the day, next time, guys. I was gonna start the video a little bit differently, but I feel like I should say that I recently found out that apparently Alice in Wonderland, 6 years later I'm finding this out, is an absolute G, and we never knew. I feel like it would be a felony for me to not share that, so there you go. You're welcome. Okay, so we left off with the Ginger clan, and now picking up just as many kids, except genders are reversed this time. We are greeted with the Schwartz family. That name does not roll off the tongue. They have 4 girls: Samantha, Amanda, Caitlin, and Emily. And by the looks of things, I'm prepared for this to be 10 times worse than the Gingerbread Clan, simply for the fact that they're girls. And I feel like little girls are way more psychotic than boys, mainly because they don't wear it on their sleeves. So to start off, Jo pulls up to the crib in her Mary Poppins whip, and she hops out to meet the family, and she is greeted with the coldest hostility that only women can muster.
I'm Kathy. Please come in.
Hi, Samantha. How are you? Pleased to meet you. Hi. What's your name?
Amanda.
Hi, Amanda. Pleased to meet you. You gonna shake Jojo's hand? Hi. And what's your name? Caitlin. Hi, Caitlin. You gonna shake Jojo's hand? Say hi. Pleased to meet you. Who's this little one here? Emily. Hello, Emily.
Come on, let's get dressed. Hurry up.
She was rushing the children. Everything was like, quick, come. Is Caitlin still in a diaper?
She's still in a diaper. She's 3.5.
And she's not out of diapers during the day?
No.
I'm sorry, what? She's 3 years old and she's still in diapers. Me personally, I was potty trained, I think at like the age of 2-ish. I could be wrong, and I'm sure if I'm wrong, my mom will embarrass me by correcting me in the comment section. But yeah, she did that on her own. So I just don't see, why is your kid still running around in Pampers?
Mum gets the kids onto the school bus and she comes back and she has Caitlin and Emily. We're on the road.
Oh. I didn't even realize. All right, no.
Oh, you thought that was an accident. She thought that was an accident. You clearly don't have kids, do you, Jo? Okay, so next up, we're introduced to the sister of the I'm sorry, I can't say that last name. I can't. We're gonna call her Karen. I didn't catch her first name, but we're gonna call her Karen. So next we're introduced to Karen's sister, Donna. And of course, she comes up in the house ready to regulate things like they're her children and it's her house.
I'm Donna. I watched Kathy and Steve's little girls. Caitlin, don't fight me today. Tell your mother stop being so jealous.
Because you baby them.
I don't have to discipline because I feel kids are kids. She's 3. Okay, how old are you? Let's go in, girls. We're gonna go eat.
With my sister raising them so much, sometimes I feel like she thinks she's their mother. I'm the mother, not Nanny. Understand?
Don't listen to her.
No, don't tell her not to listen to me.
This woman is, I'm guessing, very, very single, unmarried, and does not have children. Am I surprised? No. But disappointed? Also, no. I'm having a good time. You want my advice, Donna? I mean, I'm also 60 Shades of Single. Do you want my advice? Okay, good. My advice is you get married, you have children of your own, before winter comes and everything freezes over. It's not a problem solved, but we do what we can with what we have. Okay, so eventually the mom leaves for work and Jo is left at the house with the kids and Donna.
Well, they usually just play or go outside. She made me kind of nervous. Following me around, watching every little thing I do. Like, 'cause she is super nanny.
Because she's super nanny. It's right there in the title. It's her job. Another concept that you're clearly not familiar with. Why are you always here? I'm like too invested in this. Like, I feel like this is my family. Again, this would not fly in a black household. I just feel like they don't want to listen. They don't want to listen. They don't want to listen. So the dad is a police officer, and eventually he comes home, plum tuckered out, after a long day of what I can only assume is harassing unarmed black men. And needless to say, he's not too happy about the fact that his kids are walking around the house ignoring him like they don't even know him. And I feel like the kids are kind of ahead of the curve, you know? They're young adults already.
How are you?
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
How are you?
Joe. Very well, thank
Cheers,
you.
mate.
Yourself?
When I first saw Joe, I figured now's the time for me to get out in the open. I could show Joe what really goes on around here behind the scenes. I get jealous that sometimes you'll see the kids. They'll call Donna Mom, and they'll call Uncle Jerry Dad, and sometimes they'll call me Uncle Jerry. And I'm like, how do you not know I'm your father?
I feel like the parents probably pawned their kids off really early, you know? They have like 4 kids under the age of like, what, 6? And they're popping them out one after another, the same way an alcoholic pops menthols after being on a 15-minute break on the clock at work to mask the smell of single malt whiskey to hide the fact that his life is slowly spiraling. And now I'm spiraling. I get too wrapped up in these stories. I'm gonna take 5. But yeah, I feel like I'm back, by the way. Thank you for being patient with me. They probably pawned their kids off at a really early age because it was easy and that she wanted to be around them and she wanted to take care of them. But now that the kids are easier to manage and they're older, like, you want that back. But you kind of played yourself. I mean, but with the name like Schwartz, are we surprised? No. Disappointed? Again, no.
Now, apparently, there's no discipline in the house because I hear Mom says, wait till your father gets home.
Well, because she wants me to be the disciplinary one. I don't want to be the bad person. I don't want to first come home after 13 hours and start yelling at my kids.
But you're literally the bad guy for a living. But I mean, I suppose being the bad guy does get old. Sounds like somebody needs a trip to Delaware. If you watched my last video, you would get that joke. What if Delaware is just like where all the fathers go? Like, you know how old people, when they retire, they go down to Florida? It's like that, but like retired fathers, like, you know, fathers that retire early and cash out their 401k, aka Timmy's piggy bank. And they just dip out to Delaware after abandoning their families and subsequent
that you do
sequential, whatever. The bit is dead. It doesn't matter anymore. So once Joe gets a chance to speak to all 3 parents, adult figures, parents plus parasite. That one's a little harsh, but we're gonna stick with it. I think it works. She sits down with this triple threat to responsible child raising, and everybody gets to work once again.
There is no discipline. What are all 3 of you teaching your children, your nieces, when you have no consequences for behavior that is unacceptable?
Now that's how you clear a bitch.
I tried to discipline and then I have to hear it from her.
You're the parent.
I understand that, but you know what? It's just,
But you don't
it
always
just
do
gets
it.
overwhelming for me.
You know, I will say, I think, okay, I've seen many an episode of Super Nanny in my day, and I feel like for once the kids aren't really the problem here. I mean, sure, they're hyperactive. There's a good chance that they come home smelling like cookies and dirt, but they're kids, you know? The parents are the ones who are supposed to give them guidelines, like when you go-karting and there's like the bumpers. Why is that the analogy that I chose to use? You know, we win some, we lose most. Moving on. Yeah, they're too busy fighting with each other, and the dad's a police officer, so he's probably making inappropriate TikToks at the worst time to actually give these children any comparable sense of discipline. Anyway, so Joe then turns her laser eyes onto Donna, and she calls out the codependent relationship that she has with her sister, as well as the sort of unhealthy way that she interacts with the children. And about time, yeah. Finally wipes the smug look off of adult Strawberry Shortcake's face here. And frankly, I couldn't be happier. But let me not do my girl Strawberry like that, because she was serving looks back in the day. In the early 2000s, she was that girl, period. And at one point, she had the whole crew on deck. You can't clock her.
Your relationship with Kathy, codependent. Donna, I think I would like to say that you're probably quite happy. Because the first thing that you always say is, these kids are my life.
They are.
But Donna, the girls are Kathy and Steve's children. And they have to be given the chance to be parents. Anything else is dysfunctional.
Yes! Drag her! See, we've been new. Show me the Carfax. Who's surprised? Not me. Once again, my unprofessional professional opinion is structurally sound. Step 1, get a life. Step 2, live it. Problem solved. But yeah, there are definitely 2 terms I would use to describe what's going on here. Enmeshment is one of them, and then codependence is the other one. And I'm not just speaking out of the side of my neck here. I mean, I kind of am, but it comes with the territory. That's not relevant right now. I'm a psych major, which means, of course, before I get my bachelor's degree, it automatically grants me a certificate to act like I'm better than everybody else on campus. Yeah, so part of it is like we're literally trained to like understand and like spot unhealthy relationship dynamics. But I think even to the untrained eye, like Stevie Wonder could see that this here ain't it, chief. So eventually everybody has a sort of kumbaya, come to Jesus kind of moment, and they agree to do better. Well, except for this guy, actually. He, yikes. Screw family, apparently.
Steve, are you willing to put in 100%?
Absolutely. I'm gung-ho. Thank God she didn't pin it on me. She pinned it mostly on Kathy and Donna, which was good for me.
Wow. I have to say, that's kind of impressive. I've never seen somebody single-handedly throw their entire family under the bus, while at the same time being the person driving that bus. That takes skill. But anyway, agreements are made, tears are shed. There is, unfortunately, however, no bloodshed to fuel my propensity toward violence and rage. So, in the meantime, the live-action version of Disney's Aladdin is gonna have to do. So Joe implements some routine and finally brings some much-needed structure to the household, and everything appears to be running smoothly. But as always, it comes time to address the giant elephant in the room. And this go round, that elephant is wearing a diaper. I used to be good at like transitions. I don't know what's happening anymore.
What exactly is happening at the moment with Caitlin's potty training?
I keep diapers on her during the day.
She doesn't want to be in the diapers because she takes them off during the day and tells me throw them away. Then other days she'll take and want to wear them because she doesn't know what's right.
I started to potty train Caitlin, but a lot of it was because I really didn't have the time. It was just easier to put her in a diaper.
Oh, that's quite all right. I'm very sure that your children will be saying the same thing about you in about 25 years. Just give it time.
So we've got the potty here. We'll give her the option there, she can use it or not, and we'll place it into the bathroom. Now, in case she decides she doesn't want to use the potty, then we'll use the toilet.
I don't need to be sat down and step by step. This is a potty seat, and this is the underwear, this is the shirts, this is what you do. I don't need that. I know what to do.
Oh, right, yeah, of course, you know exactly what you're doing, but your niece, who is in your care 8 hours a day, is running around in a Huggies size 3. I said what I said. So the rest of this episode goes as you might expect. The mom learns how to use a clock so she avoids looking like that cracked out rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. The aunt finally learns some clearly defined boundaries while she assists with co-parenting. And the dad runs off to Delaware with the dude from the last episode and his worn and faded t-shirt. The end. But yeah, guys, this show, the early 2000s. I think that this show is sort of in a lane of its own, and I really feel like this show probably would not be picked up for a second season if it were to be aired now. Actually, it might not even make it past like the first pitch. TLC is still doing their thing with their shows, so I don't know, maybe they'd pick it up. And I don't think this is necessarily like TV regulations, but I think the way that we're so weird about stuff, I just feel like this probably wouldn't fly, which I'm glad we had it back then, you know? I think the only show that I can think of that's on par with Super Nanny is Wife Swap. You know, the show where they trade their wives like they traded cattle back when Jesus walked the earth. That's healthy. It's essentially the same concept, the same sort of structure, except the two main differences: you get to deal with other people's disrespectful kids and argue with a husband that's not yours. That can't be right. Anyway, that's all I have time for this go round. Social media links are in the description below. Like, subscribe, all those YouTuber things that I feel really dirty asking for. And remember, they can't fire you if they can't find you. Until next time.
I see